Today we're covering top 6 moments from the first season of Promised Neverland. You're in the right place. Stick with me. Number 6. Revelation that we are on a farm. Right off in the first episode, we start with the best moment, which is especially surprising if you're watching this show without prior knowledge. During the whole first episode, we create a special kind of feel, with a dark contrast between happy family atmosphere and something is really wrong here atmosphere. The creators of the show had only one opportunity to keep the viewers in the dark. Once the cat is out of the bag, we will never be able to look at that orphanage in the same way. They used the story setup perfectly. And there's not a single person whose jaw didn't drop on the floor when we finally find out that we are on a farm. This is definitely one of the best first episodes in all of the anime I have ever watched. Number 5. Ray in 3 moments. Another great surprise that this anime gives to its viewers is the fact that one of the people from the original trio is a spy, someone who is not to be trusted. All the protagonists of the original trio are extremely smart, but Norman is definitely the smartest. And Norman uses a relatively cheap method to confirm that Ray is actually a spy. Especially interesting thing here is, he chooses to cooperate with Norman and Emma, which makes us question everything. What are his real motives? And this gives further depth to Ray as a character. The story setup gives Ray a unique depth. He has a photographic memory to the point that he remembers things before he was born. They are, after all, raised to be super smart. Thanks to his memory, he can even remember the melody his mother hummed to him while he was in the womb. He remembers the delivery ward where he was born. He remembers the demons. So he knew from the start that Isabel is his mother and that they are on a farm. We, the viewers, find this out much later in the season. We find this out when Isabel overhears him humming the same melody. The idea that she recognizes her son by hearing the same melody is poetically beautiful. And that whole scene is beautifully thought out and executed. After that, they form a pact, and Ray becomes her spy, in exchange for cheap toys. The third moment where Ray shines brightly, almost literally, is when, on his last birthday before the shipment, he wishes to commit suicide by setting himself on fire. He didn't want to give the demons the pleasure of actually eating him. A very dark and disturbing setup. But Emma, a good little girl as she is, she stops him from doing this. Ray has been planning to go out in a blaze of glory almost whole his life, which is pretty creepy if you really think about it. But an amazing moment nevertheless. Number 4. Minerva. It is very difficult to talk about Minerva without big manga spoilers, but I will try to restrict myself on anime facts only. Our ingenious trio from the farm found out that some of the books have a message in them in Morse code. Messages like doubt, run, truth, harvest. Messages which, when we put them together, paint a pretty clear picture where they are. On a farm. Books that Minerva left for them are about a young boy who survives in a very strange world. And these books help our heroes survive once they finally leave the farm. After that, those books are more or less forgotten. But Minerva made sure that potential escapees receive a pen. A pen that is in anime shown just as a gift from Sister Krone. This pen is of crucial importance in the manga for pretty much everything. But we will talk about that in some other video where we cover all the manga spoilers. The idea that there is someone outside the farm and that someone is helping our heroes in such a subtle and stealthy way is absolutely amazing and is also well executed. And that gives us a big hint that even though outside world is filled with demons, they may have some allies outside as well. Number 3. Norman's failed escape. Norman was the next one selected to be harvested, and kids make a plan for him to escape. The moment when we see him get back from his failed escape is truly heartbreaking, even for a much stronger man than I. We see Norman's fake smile and self-righteous smile of Isabel, but his failed escape was not for nothing. He found out some crucial information about the farm. He found out that there is a gigantic cliff surrounding the whole complex. He also found out the shape of the farm and a place where they could possibly escape. Aside from that, this failed escape gives us something else. Painful and emotional scenes when Emma and Ray watch as Norman is heading out to be eaten by demons, although we never actually see him get eaten. A bit suspicious. While other kids have no idea what is actually going on. A deep and emotional scene on many levels. Scenes like this in Promised Neverland are possible only because the story has such a good setup and characters have such special motivations. This is another one of those moments that would be hard to pull off in any other scenario. Luckily here, the creators hit a home run. Number 2. Isabel's Honesty. Norman and Emma are in the forest, and they want to scout the surroundings, which is a pretty good idea. But Mama Isabel catches up to them, and that is the first moment we get full honesty from all the characters. Isabel is honest for the first time in her life. This is the first time in their lives when they are free to talk honestly. So much so that Isabel formally introduces herself, as if they are meeting for the first time. This whole scene is very intense, and at least for once in this anime, without lies. Contrast between Isabella's statements, where she at one moment says how much she loves them, as if they were her own children, and the other statement, where she refers to them as food. This contrast is very creepy and unsettling, but it is more or less understandable, especially when we later find out what Isabel had to go through in her own life. The kids go for a gamble. It's all or nothing, and they get nothing. The idea was for Emma to attack Mama for long enough to give Norman the chance to escape. But Mama Isabel quickly, efficiently, and ruthlessly breaks Emma's leg with a horrible sound effect and a horrified expression of Norman. This is the first time that Isabella actually physically attacked anyone, and that is equally surprising for us and for them. To make things even more creepy than they are, Isabel immediately starts fixing Emma's leg. Is Isabel doing this because she wants to damage the high-quality goods as little as possible? Or is she doing this because she wants to help a crying child? Creepy and disturbing on so many levels. Although the obvious answer is that she wants to protect her high-quality goods. Once we get to know Isabel in more detail in the manga, the answer becomes less obvious. Number 1. The final escape. The house is on fire. Emma cut off her ear. The trackers are no longer usable. Isabel is frantically trying to put out the fire in order to save at least a part of Ray, only to find out that Ray is in the middle of his escape from the farm. Once she understands what is happening, she runs like hell and manages to catch up to them at the very end of their escape. She locks eyes with Emma and sees Emma doing what she never was able to do before. With one last look back, Emma says goodbye to the house and the farm and her mother and goes down the zip line. The zip line gets cut almost immediately after that, symbolically cutting the last connection between Mama and the children. It took a lot of ingenuity and effort for kids to cross over the cliff and to escape into a world that they know nothing about, but they can be absolutely sure that it will be full of enemies. Isabel just stands there, shocked, flabbergasted and sad. But we cannot shake the feeling that she looks relieved, which is also symbolically shown in her finally letting her hair down. In the end, after admitting defeat, she collects the remains of the zip lines, thus helping the children's escape by hiding the traces of their escape. And with a bit of sadness in her voice, she wishes them good luck and advises them to be careful on their journey. Her smile is filled with sadness because the children she loves left her. She loves those children in a very weird way, but she does love them. She is also a bit happy because someone succeeded in a thing where she failed. More so in a thing that she thought was completely impossible. After that, Isabel returns to the house to take care of the remaining children. As a finale of this whole anime, this was executed brilliantly, with a good mix of action, really deep emotions, and a good conclusion to the plot. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief after 12 episodes of extreme tension. This marks the end of the first arc in Promised Neverland. Many unfortunately think this was the best one, and that the complete show took a turn for the worst after the first arc of the manga. But we will talk about that in greater detail in another video, where we cover what happens to children moments after they escape from the farm. If you enjoyed this top 6 of Promised Neverland, make sure to check out our other top lists. That would be it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you. Bye bye.